Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, Leilani of Barbados. You might notice something a little bit different about me. I got my hair did for the vaxlive concert, which I watched and I'll be reporting on shortly. But just to tell you, in other news, Jersey, how we're doing right now, we're at a ceasefire, if you will. France has lifted the ban, so Jersey fishermen are allowed to land their catch in France, and also at the same time Jersey is giving French fishermen until the 1st of July to produce the records and the documents and fill out the forms and whatever they need to do in order to continue fishing in Jersey waters. So England, are you listening? We would love in Jersey, when I say we, you know what I mean. In Jersey, we would love to sell our beautiful seafood to you, and of course we know that the English do follow the rules, and it's just the culture in England, and so that would be great if we could collab with England to sell seafood there. At least that's the opinion where we are here in Jersey, and I'm just reporting the news. Okay, let's move on to vaxlive. Okay, so the vaxlive concert, there were 12 performances. I think the ones that stood out to me most were the Foo Fighters and J-Lo, who I don't know if she's like mummified herself, but she just looks amazing and her performance was amazing. Basically, that's all that stood out to me, besides J Balvin, which is he's a Colombian artist, and he actually suffered with the COVID, and he said he almost died, and it just put a human face to the situation when he gave his account of what happened to him, and I just thought that was very touching. So of course, like, what we want to talk about is the speeches. So Meghan had her little speech that she did.
My husband and I are thrilled to soon be welcoming a daughter. It's a feeling of joy we share with millions of other families around the world.
She starts out by saying that her and her husband are thrilled about their forthcoming child. Listen, I don't know. I think it's like he's overdoing it now. If 3.2 million people have died during this pandemic, how does the birth of your child like have anything to do with that? Sorry, like, I just don't get it. Like, is it just me? I don't get the connection at all.
The past year has been defined by communities coming together tirelessly and heroically to tackle COVID-19. And we've gathered tonight because the road ahead is getting brighter, but it's going to take every one of us to find our way forward. As campaign chairs of vaxlive, my husband and I believe it's critical that our recovery prioritizes the health, safety, and success of everyone. We want to make sure that as we recover stronger, that as we rebuild together.
I mean, it's really not about like that at all. It's not about your child. It's not about you. I remember Catherine, actually I don't remember Catherine having her third child, Louis. Like, that was 3 years ago. And I cannot understand how this woman just kept having children and like just looking better and better every time she had a child. Like, that's facts. She looks better every time. And doesn't make a big deal of it, does not bring attention to it.
When we think of her, we think of all the young women and girls around the globe who must be given the ability and support to lead us forward. Their future leadership depends on the decisions we make and the actions we take now to set them up and to set all of us up for a successful, equitable, and compassionate tomorrow.
It was just a bit, again, everyone says the same thing. It's all about Meghan. It's all about Meghan. It's all about Meghan. I just don't see how, and we'll get into the other thing that she did that's all about her. But anyhow, yeah, so I just felt like I never even noticed when Catherine had her children like that, because she just did her thing and lived her life, you know? Okay, anyway, Meghan gave tribute to Diana, which is such a touch and go thing. Whenever Meghan talks about Diana, we get different emotions. Like, sometimes we feel queasy. Sometimes there's like a disconnect that we feel. And sometimes we have this nostalgia feeling whenever she talks about Diana. It's really not something I think that she should cover. I think maybe Harry should cover that entirely when it comes to his mom. Because her doing it is not, it doesn't work well. It doesn't reach us the way I think that she thinks it will reach us. So speaking of Diana, they have been comparisons where Meghan's wearing a tank français, yellow gold tank français, very similar to one that Diana wore when she did a lot of public engagements, and her father gave her that watch. Meghan has not the same watch, so it's not the same exact watch, but it is a similar watch in yellow gold, and she got it during her time in Suits. She said she bought it as a milestone in her career. My dad gave me this watch. This is a Cartier Santos on my 21st birthday. Nothing to do with anything because it's stainless steel. But very grateful. I still have it and I will keep it forever. But it's just interesting that she never Googled Harry. She didn't know anything about Harry. Of course, her best friend said that she was obsessed with Diana. So maybe that's where she was inspired to buy the same exact watch as Diana. Also, the other things about her jewelry I wanted to mention was the Woman Power Charm necklace by Awe Inspired. It's meant to represent abundance and enlightenment. I found it to look a little bit Etsy, a little bit. You know, it's not a very impressive piece of jewelry. Actually, apart from the Cartier that she was wearing on her wrist, in the watch and the love bracelet, I think I was gonna call my friend because I think that she was also wearing a Justin Clew. I'm not sure how to say it. I'm not like quite aware with that. But yeah, she I don't think the earrings, like the tinsel earrings, I'm not really into that. I think she should have worn studs, like period, full stop. But I don't think she has very good taste. I think because Carolina Herrera is a very beautiful designer. Like, she designs amazing gowns and she's from Venezuela. But this poppy dress that Meghan was wearing is a Carolina Herrera dress. And I just think of all the collection, why would you choose that dress? Like, and by the way, my very good friend modeled for Carolina Herrera, so I'm very familiar with the collection. Hola, Liana. Yeah, it's a beautiful collection, so don't judge it by this frock. So going back to the speeches, Harry made a speech on stage. We got a little bit of a teaser of how he's presented on stage. I think his stage presence is okay. I really don't see anything wrong with it. He seems quite confident. He talked a lot about the vaccine, and some people thought he stepped outside of his area of expertise in terms of talking about things that people in the medical field should talk about. I disagree. I think he was just spreading the message. I honestly found it totally fine. Yeah, but he did a pretty good job. What I wanted to say about this speech, I know that Harry's reaching like a larger audience when talking about the vaccine, and I feel like they are doing a good deed doing that. But on YouTube, big YouTubers have been talking about this for a very long time. They have been spreading the word. They've been talking about wearing masks, social distancing, and also finally getting the vaccine, also being tested constantly, because it affected their livelihood as well, just like any other office building. It affected YouTubers. You know, the crew couldn't be in there with them. Well, I don't have a crew, but yeah, I'm new. I don't have a crew yet, but yeah, people cannot be in the same room with their colleagues, and unlike normal office buildings, at least YouTubers are here on this platform able to reach a lot of people. So they're jumping on a bandwagon that's already been going on, and I've been watching it, and people have been spreading the word before this, okay? But it still does not take away from them doing their due diligence and spreading the word. And if hopefully people will listen to Harry and what he's saying genuinely, and not, I hope he's not tarred with a brush from the interview with Oprah, and just see that he's trying to be genuine, he's trying to help, because this is actually the life he comes from, is a life of service. So I hope that people will still feel what he's saying. Okay, so in terms of them chairing this vaxlive concert, there has been speculation I saw of the fact that they might possibly have pushed up themselves, as we say in Barbados, or begged for a spot in this production. But here we have the co-founder and CEO of vaxlive talking about that he approached them, and that in particular the Duchess of Sussex, as he refers to her as. So I suppose she still has a title. I know we're all very confused as to whether or not she's still, how is she still having? Anyhow, he talks about that he approached and she was most interested in this cause. And so let's listen to him, because actually I found that what he had to say was much more concise and relatable than what Harry said in his speech. His speech was a bit jumble up, but like if you listen to Hugh Evans, you'll listen and hear this.
And the man behind it all is an Aussie.
CEO and co-founder of Global Citizen, Hugh Evans, joins us now. Hugh, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Nat, and how are you?
We are well. This was a star-studded show, wasn't it? How on earth did you convince Prince Harry to take part in it, and what was it like to work with him?
Well, Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, were an absolute pleasure to work with. We reached out to them and told them about the vision of vaxlive, and immediately the Duchess said that she was extremely passionate about the issue of vaccine equity. And Prince Harry said that he was extremely passionate about the issue of misinformation in the press around vaccine access. So we worked together on this campaign over the last month, and they helped convene a meeting of the private sector to encourage the private sector to step up and make multi-million-dollar commitments as part of vaxlive.
Oh, by the way, not to pause, but I found he sounds a little bit South African. I'm not sure why. We have a lot of South Africans here in Jersey, so I don't know why I just feel like he sounds a little bit South African. But let's just play the rest of it. And I love accents, and I'm very interested in accents. So just tell me if you think he sounds a bit South African as opposed to Australian.
And they were truly phenomenal and wonderful leaders to work with. Well, I think, it was a Herculean effort, but I give all the credit to our amazing team at Global Citizen who work day in and day out to help achieve our mission. But I think the amazing thing about the effort was that there were 27,000 frontline healthcare workers in the audience, all fully vaccinated. And they're really the true heroes of this pandemic. So we wanted to honor them. And so we spent the night focusing on the work that they've been doing over the last 12 months to keep us all safe around the world. And the whole mission was in service of the 27 million healthcare workers globally who don't yet have access to the vaccine, and how can we make sure that they have access immediately?
What do you say to Australians, 50% of whom say, I'm not sure about getting this?
Well, ultimately, the only way we're going to end the pandemic is through taking the vaccine. It's safe, it's effective. And what we've found globally is that when you see your friends and family taking it, you realize that it's actually safe and that it's actually far more compelling to take it yourself. So my urging to the Australian government is that they would step up and follow the leadership of the other G7 nations who've pledged to commit 5% of vaccine doses to the poorest nations immediately.
Okay, I have a letter from a subscriber. I love getting emails. Please email me, guys. It's leilanibarbados@gmail.com. Please email me any suggestions and anything that you want me to look into or talk about. But I got this email from a subscriber here, and I'm just going to read it. It says, "Hi, subscriber. We have been deeply touched over the past 2 years to feel the warmth and support for our family in honor of Archie's birthday. Many have donated to charities on his behalf and marked the occasion by giving back and doing an act of service, all through goodness of their hearts. They have raised funds for those who need it most and continue to..." Okay, so this is a member of Global Citizen who received this email, and although I cannot reveal the name, anyway, you have to understand, if you can look here, you can see it comes from Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, from Global Citizen. And if you donate these $5, of course, it will be quadrupled by MasterCard, etc. until May 16th. But at the end of the email, it says you can learn more at archwell.com. So I just want to say, I don't think there's any bait and switch tactic going on here. When you do donate this $5, it will go straight to getting vaccines to people who can't afford them. But because it has, you can learn more at Archwell, then when you go to Archwell, you'll see that you can then subscribe to Archwell, where you will get emails, and in those emails, of course, they can ask for other things, and it also promotes their audio, which is an exclusive partnership with Spotify. Under an exclusive partnership, Archwell Audio will join Spotify and their global reach. Spotify royalties are specifically distributed from the net revenue collected from ads and premium subscription fees. Artists are paid monthly. When Spotify pays artists, they tally the number of streams for each of an artist's songs, or in this case, podcasts, I suspect. I don't think they're singing, and determine who owns each song and who distributes it. Okay, so very much like YouTube. And so that is where they make money. So it's like a link to a link to a link for them to make money. But I wouldn't say that it was that any donations you give on Global Citizen would go into their pockets. Definitely not. But then once you get into the actual whole thing, that's at your own risk. And speaking of podcasts, Apple TV, the Me You Can't See. This is something they're doing with Oprah, with mental health, and we knew this was coming, but we didn't know when. And so it's hopefully an opportunity, I would think, being that it's Oprah and the Sussexes, to clear up the ill-worded, interview regarding mental health, and maybe she could put a different spin on it, as she's very good at doing, in terms of like what really happened when she felt down, let's revisit that. And I hope that that would be what they do first and foremost. We can only hope that, So ending on a good note, Kate Middleton has been hiding her book, Hold Still, all around London. This is why they started their YouTube channel, because one of the children featured in the book undergoing chemo was part of their video on YouTube. I've subscribed. I definitely subscribed. I was like, oh my God, look at how many subscribers they're getting. I'm so jealous. But no, obviously they deserve it. And so this book is the reason why they started the YouTube channel. This is what a good cause really looks like to me. It's uplifting. It's showing the nation at this standstill point during the pandemic. It's a portrait of a nation in 2020. By the Duchess of Cambridge, published by the National Portrait Gallery. It's £17.55 on amazon.co.uk. So I'm going to show everything here, and I'll also put it in the description box so that you guys can purchase it. I think it's an amazing thing, and the fact that she's handing it out is just so beautiful. Also, each copy that she's hiding is adorned with a gold book fairy sticker, gold ribbon, and has a letter from the Duchess tucked inside. That's the Duchess of Cambridge, Catherine. To make this activity even more special, book fairies, the Hold Still judges, and participants of the final 100 images are leaving copies at places that gave them hope during lockdown. But not to take away from the Sussexes. I also think that they have done a good deed. They were in good company, or at least like high-level company, with Joe Biden. And Kamala Harris being there. And so the platform could not be any bigger. But I'm also happy that across the pond over here in the UK, there is this very warm feeling coming from Catherine that she's doing here. It is so amazing, and I can't wait to get my copy of Hold Still. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I have to rush off now because I'm actually having an interview today with a big podcaster here in Jersey, talking about what it's like to be a new YouTuber, because as you know, I'm new at this and I'm trying to grow my channel, and I'm talking about the things I'm interested in, and I'm not sure what he wants to talk about with me, but hopefully it'll be very exciting, and I will have footage of that I will put up tomorrow. So lots of love to you, and stick with me. Exciting things are happening, and exciting things will happen for you too. Lots of love. Bye. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and please press the bell notifications, because then you'll see when this podcast goes live, and then I will also put it up here. Okay, thank you so much. Oh, really quickly, in case you're wondering how I sleep on my hair, I do this thing where I like wrap it around like a sort of like a genie thing, like a genie turban thing. And I've had to learn this because this is the first time I've actually done braids on my hair, and I really like it, but I had to learn how to sleep on it because let me tell you, I was like suffering the first night, okay? Because I didn't know how to do it, but I've now found a way to do it. And if you want to, I'll show you a video on how I do it. Okay? Lots of love to you. Oh, and this is what it looks like. Just take this out. Concert ready. Bye. Thank you so much.